right.
Whenever you're ready, I'm gonna have you slide in here real quick. Yep, whenever you're ready. So I could see Larry, he could see us. You can only see us right there.
I could see you and half of Matt.
Okay.
There he is.
Are we both in? Good morning and welcome to St. Pete, Florida, to the first episode of the Dr. N Educate Now podcast, where life is a classroom. And I'm going to let Matt McClellan introduce himself. Matt?
Hi guys, I'm Matt McClellan. I'm the inventor of the pizza diet and the founder of Pizza right here in St. Pete.
Awesome.
It's an honor to be on your inaugural show, so thank you for having me.
You rock. Thank you. So, Lair.
Yes, sir.
Finally get to have our interview.
Absolutely.
What a great honor. Our team calls you the other Rocky. Rocky is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Absolutely.
When I grew up as a kid, I was enthralled with him. So a little bit of your background first, and then we'll get to the talking points. Former U.S. Marine, self-taught chef, Flavor Philly IG, where you visit various restaurants in Philadelphia. You were born and raised in Philly. You worked for the city of Philadelphia for 20 years, and you're a loving father of 2 twin girls. So really, you have so much to offer people. You've got a heart of gold. And pretty much, what inspired you to start your IG page and Flavor Philly?
Well, it was just a regular, normal page like anybody has, and I was putting stuff on that I made, and people were responding to it, and then a couple of restaurants started following me, a couple other foodies from Philly started following me, and it kind of just snowballed into what it is today, which awesome. I had no plans for this. It just happened.
Yeah, awesome. That's fantastic. How was life growing up in the historic city of Philadelphia?
Well, any kid growing up in Philadelphia gets in a lot of trouble, I think, and I was no different. I had 2 brothers that I grew up with, and we fought a lot, but nobody could fight one of us. We could fight each other, but nobody else can come into that. You know what I mean?
That's where that loyalty comes in.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What was your job with the city of Philly? I believe you worked for the city of Philly for 20 years.
Yeah, I was actually a trash man for 5 years, and then I got promoted to Department of Recreation, so I used to babysit, different playgrounds, and at the end of my career there, I was a supervisor.
Awesome.
So.
Awesome. The young people today, working as a dean/counselor in a local Florida school district, there's so many kids. The work ethic today really only comes down to just having a phone.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want to do anything, right?
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that when we get into you being a father. So what does family life mean to you, and what is it like raising 2 twin 16-year-old daughters?
Very stressful. I didn't have gray hair till they were born, but I look at it, it's my job to put my life aside for them until they're ready to go off on their own. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
I believe that.
Yeah, I believe that too, and that's a huge problem where all over the country, all over the world, where teenagers today, some of them struggle with independence. They struggle with taking initiative, right?
Yes.
They struggle with having a dream. The theme of our show is learn, dream, achieve, and give back to someone who can't give back to you in your classroom of life, and they struggle with that.
Right.
Yeah, they struggle. So do the girls work? They obviously go to school. What are their names? How are they doing school? And take us on a journey.
Giovanna, actually, she's in honors classes, gets good grades, but as we talked about before, when she was in grade school, she struggled, and they wanted to put her on medicine, and I said no, because I don't believe that. And
Thanks, Ritalin.
yeah, thank God I didn't, because look at her now. She has a little part-time job at a restaurant right down the street, Lorenzo's Cafe, and Emma does well in school too. But they switched. Emma always did good in school. Giovanna struggled for a little bit, but now she's excelling. She wants to go into the Marines like her father. You know,
Awesome.
ROTC at Westchester like her cousin, who's a captain in the Navy now. You know, and Emma's just, you know, I guess she's still thinking about what she wants to do, and which is fine at this point.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's fantastic. That's influence in your other daughter.
Well, Emma, you know, she don't know what she wants to do yet, but that's fine at her age. You know.
That's fine. I tell young people all the time, if you don't have a vision for your life now, what you need to do is focus on your full-time job, which is school, and guidance from, you know, in my world, it doesn't necessarily have to be a parent.
Right.
It could be a single father, it could be a single mother, it could be the grandparent, it could be a guardian. I talk to a lot of legal guardians, and it's tough because growing up in upstate New York, in a town called Pittsford, New York, little shout out, we grew up in a upper middle class neighborhood, but my father and mother worked very, very hard. Joe and Seal Nesser, God rest my father's soul, they were hairdressers together for 40 years. And they taught us, just like you're teaching your daughters, you know, loyalty, hard work, tenacity. We're all tenacious workers. We're very respectful. When we went to parties and we went to our aunt's house, my mother used to turn around in the car and say, now remember to say hi to Aunt Smith and, you know, Uncle Johnny.
Yes.
All the time. And we used to make fun of her, but it paid off because we're very respectful. And I passed that down to the kids in the public school district.
Right. Well, I do the same thing. Stress, please, and thank you. You know, I'm big with it myself, and it was stressed upon me, so I try to do the same thing. Just those two little words can make you look like, you know, a good kid, you know, a respectful kid.
Absolutely. That's a big missing part of the piece of the nuclear family. It really doesn't exist with clarity today, simply because it's broken down so much, just like we just alluded to, and it's tough. I mean, I know kids that I give food to at times before they leave school because, you know, they want an extra snack at home. It's free and reduced lunch at our school,
right.
But a lot of kids eat mac and cheese and cook for themselves. I know some young ladies that pretty much are part of the adult. You know, they're an adult at home.
Yes.
They have to take care of their younger siblings. They're struggling in school. They come to me, you know, sometimes in tears, right. and I have to be compassionate. I don't have a family myself. I've never been married, and I'm a single guy. So I have to have compassion towards them. I can't be empathetic because I haven't been a father, but I could be compassionate in the sense of 25 years of working in the public school system at various levels as a counselor and a teacher, and I try to give back every day, just like you do. So you're doing a great job with the girls, and maybe someday when I'm in Philly, I can meet the family.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'd love
to do that.
Just go out to dinner or something.
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, what are your top maybe 5 restaurants that you prefer to go to? Not that you're favoring one or the other, but what are the?
Oh boy, there's been so many. I could give you maybe my top 5 cheesesteaks.
Yeah, cheesesteaks. That's good. Cheesesteaks.
I'll have to go Angelo's, number 1. Joe's Steaks is up there. John's Roast Pork, and there's a new spot called Carmelo's Cafe.
Wow.
And
awesome.
Steve Steaks is up there too.
Steve Steaks.
Yeah.
Because when I first started looking at your content, I was like, wow, this guy travels all over Philly, man. This is really cool. And really, I started, you know, I think that's where the seed was planted for me to actually have a podcast, although I couldn't spell Instagram about 2.5 years ago. And I thought social media consisted of Facebook and, you know, just Facebook and Twitter.
Right.
I really didn't know a lot about Instagram. So this is a whole new world for me. I have a great team. Sam, my technician. Joe is my producer. Shout out to Joe and Sam. And we're part of a team. And welcome to our team, because you are officially part of our team, buddy.
Awesome. I want a jersey, number 22.
You'll get one. So finally, a bunch of questions about how long have you been sober? A lot of our listeners have already said to me, hey, Dr. Duran, can you make sure he elaborates on that? Because there's a lot of people that struggle with alcohol abuse, drug abuse, substance abuse.
Yeah, I got no problem with that. I'm an open book. You just have to turn the pages. if I make it till March 19th, I'll be sober 13 years.
13 years. That's amazing.
For me, definitely.
And was it who influenced you? What events brought you to wanting to be or thinking about? I know it probably was a struggle at first because I know
Yeah.
a lot of people that are recovering alcoholics. Who was the catalyst?
I guess my own downfalls. I mean, my mother used to tell me, she used to say, "Can't you see every time you drink, you get locked up?" And I used to tell her it has nothing to do with the drinking, defending the drink. I told her, I said, "I'm always drinking, so it just happens to be I'm drinking." And she implanted in my head, she's like, alcoholism runs through our family. And it did, but I didn't see it like that. But eventually it got to the point where, I was just unhappy with myself for years. And it got to the point where, I started doing drugs. They got out of hand. It was going through my savings. I lost a house. And all them little things together, I guess, got me to a point where I said, I have to do something here. And
So how much of your parents' drinking and or different things that they did influenced you to potentially go down the path that you were on?
I don't think at all. My father's not an alcoholic. My stepfather is. My mother was, and but I didn't look at that like a lot of guys will get sober and say, "I just don't want to be like my parents." I wasn't like that. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
my own downfall and losing stuff and the misery, and of course when my kids were born, uh, you know, that was a little something in the back of my head, and I think all these things together kind of made me realize that I have to do something here, or I'm
Right.
going to continue going down this path.
Did a particular individual introduce you to AA meetings, or have you attended AA meetings? Do you still attend them if you do?
I went to AA meetings for years, and when I first started, it was 3, 4 meetings a day, which
Wow.
gave me a nice base to build upon.
3
But
or 4 meetings a day. That's amazing.
yeah, I mean, I lost my job, so I didn't have nothing else to do, and I really wanted to be sober. I picked up a sponsor, but what got me to the meetings in the first place was when I went to rehab. I went to Living Green, and the meetings there, they stressed you need meetings to stay sober. And I said, let's give it a shot, because I tried to get sober by myself, didn't last. You know what I mean? Until I went to AA, and
So elaborate a little bit on. You said you tried to get sober by yourself. It didn't last.
yes.
Why not? Like, I know there's going to be a lot of listeners that are struggling with different things. So
Well, there's no support there. Your own support is your head, and my head's goofy. It'll tell me it'll be different this time, and it never was until I went to AA and got the support, met a bunch of good guys who I exchanged numbers with, and they got on me, and became friends with a lot of them. Unfortunately, a lot of them started drinking again. A lot of them died, but there's a few that are still sober. I keep in touch with a few of them, but yeah, I don't do meetings anymore. I know I should,
Yeah.
just
yeah.
just to give back, but I
Right.
guess it's I'm selfish in a way.
Well, you have a regiment.
Yeah.
You have a routine every day, and that's absolutely amazing. I know that when I was driving home from work last week, we talked for like 30 minutes, and what has helped has staying off the alcohol and or the drugs helped you with any anger issues that you may have had in the past?
Um, they brought them down a little bit, but yeah, I still have anger issues at times.
So, like, you used to go to bars. I know you alluded to the fact that when you went to bars,
Yeah.
if somebody, you had a short fuse,
Yes.
and if somebody ticked you off, that was it.
Right. Well, I had a chip on my shoulder, and they didn't have to tick me off. If nobody ticked me off, I'd go look for something. You know.
You looked for trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, your new life with your daughters, and you've shown amazing resilience.
Right.
Your transparency is beyond measure. It's really motivating. I mean, I'm not even nervous anymore for the first podcast. I just feel like we've known each other for years.
Good.
And you're so motivating. So, what do you do community-wise? Have you done different community events for Philly, or what do you plan on doing? How can we help as a team? I want to help you. This is just the beginning of a long, great relationship to where we can help thousands of people.
Yeah, no, I mean, I help the food scene a little bit. You know, I don't do much community service just because, you know, I'm lazy. I'll be honest with you, and I don't seek it out. You know, if somebody asks me to help them out, I'll help them out. My phone's always on. But yeah, other than that, you know, work, come home, take care of the kids. You know, do dinner. You know, I teach them how to cook.
Oh, you're teaching your daughters how to cook.
Well,
That's
yeah.
awesome. What do they do? They have a day a week where do you rotate days where one of your daughters cooks or not?
No, it's if they ask me to cook them something, I'll tell them no. I'm not cooking that for you, but I can show you how to do it, and they'll come over and learn, and play dumb the next time that they want something. Oh, I don't remember. Well, yes, you do. Well, then you'll starve.
Yeah. What are some of the favorite foods of your household?
They do fettuccine alfredo now. They do macaroni and cheese, of course, breakfasts, um, grilled cheese, simple stuff, really.
My mother is Italian. She's 85. Uh, Shout out to Seal. And my father, God rest his soul, was 70 when he died. So my father was Lebanese and my mom's Italian. So my mother cooked an array of different Mediterranean dishes. You know, Italian. She cooked Chinese. She cooked all types of foods. The Lebanese food, she became a better cook than most of the Lebanese relatives, like aunts, the
Right.
Lebanese aunts from
Right.
Lebanon, and you know, tabbouleh, hummus, grape leaves. My sister-in-law Mary Elizabeth, my sister-in-law Helen, my sister-in-law Michelle, and my sister-in-law Kristen. Love them all cook Lebanese food as a result of the influence of my mother and you know my father's family. We used to have big, which I'm sure you did and still do, have these big family gatherings. In an Italian household, a Lebanese household, we ate at 5.
Yeah.
My mother was very regimented when we ate, and you had to eat. Like there was no ifs, ands, or buts. You're sitting down and you're having at least one plate, if not 2 plates of food. Now, in today's world, with me losing 70 pounds and cycling daily, I look at keeping in shape. And yes, even meeting Matt here at Tour de Pizza, Matt's already changed my vision of pizza for the rest of my life. I don't look at pizza the same, which he cooks. He cooks healthy pizza. He cooks an array of different types of pizzas, and he's got a vision. What a visionary! So hopefully, sometime when you come to Florida, you're more than welcome to stay at the house, and we'll hang out and we'll come down and meet Matt because
Oh,
he's an
absolutely.
amazing individual.
I'll
Yeah.
eat pizza all day, healthy or not.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, going to sports for a couple minutes. Your favorite sports teams are?
Um, I'm a homer, so I support the Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, Sixers. You know, I was always a homer. You know, I'm falling off with the sports a little bit, just because I'm too busy, you know, to
Yeah.
get into a game. But
Yeah.
that happens. You know, there's more important things in life to me than sports. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'll always be a homer, and I'll always support my home teams.
hmm Yeah, no doubt about it. Matter of fact, I've been to Philadelphia a couple times through my cousin Neil Squero and his mom and my mom are sisters, and that's that Italian connection. And they love uh, all the sports teams, and they actually have block parties
Yeah.
when there's different games, and it's a lot of fun meeting the neighbors. I've been to their house several times, and you're an inspiration. You influence thousands of people every day. You're an amazing person. You got a heart of gold. You're very very transparent. You really help. You're helping me. The more we talk, the more we interact. You're helping me to become more transparent because that's what I think life's all about. If we can't give back to the people around us, what are we here for, right?
Right. Well, we had that discussion, and I agree with you. I think we're put on this earth to help other people, and if I do help people, it's purely by accident. I don't seek it out. So
Well,
hopefully, I do.
you- you're destined to meet people. We were destined, I believe, with all my heart, that we were destined to meet. My faith certainly anchors me, and I believe that if I didn't have my faith, we wouldn't be talking right now.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I mean-
that's for sure. But I know we'll keep developing our relationship and helping each other out in many different ways. And your daughters are going to be proud of you when they see this. When they see this podcast.
Well, that's debatable. Maybe when they're older, but not right now. But yeah, I agree with you. My faith, I wouldn't be anywhere without my faith. I had to get on my knees and ask for help.
Yeah,
And that's all there
every
is
day.
to it.
So, thanks again for everything you do for the city of Philly and beyond.
Sure thing.
Remember, learn, dream, achieve, and give back to those who can't give back to you in your circle of life. Love you.
Love you. See you later.
How was it? 21? Okay. We'll get better. I'm glad the first one was short.